So if you didn't know, Reinforced Deepslate was added as a part of the 1.19 update along with the Warden, Deep Dark Biome, and Ancient Cities. And since it's one of the most underrated blocks in the update, I figured I'd give it a spotlight for today's video. And take note, you can only get this block in creative mode, so if you're planning to use these in your survival world, well, I'm afraid you can't use it unless you have cheats on or use a command. That's all you gotta know, let's get into it. With Reinforced Deepslate, you can use item frames to cover the whole block, and this gives us a unique block design that looks like a crate, which you can use for decoration. And this makes it more noticeable if you add 2 or more crates, depending on how many you want to add, and as you can see, it looks more like a completely different block. Since it looked good with the item frames, I decided to make a display board which makes the Reinforced Deepslate a good backdrop for displaying your items and makes it unique. You can use it anywhere in your builds. It would look great on your base in survival, but unfortunately, you can only do this in creative. But still, I like the design and it's really unique. You can use the Reinforced Deepslate to display your artifacts or use it on a museum build. It works on any decoration block as long as it's small. I even tried placing an armor stand display with the banner shield and the dragon head on the side. You can even place a Viking helmet which I made on the museum build hacks video since it looked good on top of the Reinforced Deepslate. Links will be placed in the description below. Here you can use Reinforced Deepslate to make different kinds of furniture, and they all look great if you're decorating in medieval or modern style builds, whichever you prefer. And you can make lots with it, so not only you can make a small drawer with this, but a large drawer as well with a small desk on the side, perfect for aesthetic type of room. You can also make a bedside table with the birch trapdoor and birch sign on the front, with the frog light lamp on top, and also some lovely couches for decoration, etc. There's more you can experiment and build with these blocks for furniture. I just gave out some simple ideas and inspo for you to try. Now, because of the Reinforced Deepslate's unique texture, you can use it to make a castle or medieval gate, much like using a regular log. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It looks simple, and this may be one of the most indestructible gates I've ever built. Another use of Reinforced Deepslate is to create large pillars instead of using a quartz pillar. So if you're looking for an alternative, this is your go-to block. It's also up to you how tall you want it to be depending on how big the structure you're building, and this works best if you're creating some sort of end base or a temple. So here I tried building a small mock-up of a temple for a sample if you want to use it on your buildings. It looks unique and great. And last but not least is the statue of Reinforced Deepslate Man, which you can also use for decoration if you're building a temple or a park or something like that. For this, we're going to be combining it with Sculk Catalyst and Sculk Blocks, some Sculk Veins to add some contrast and depth to our statue. And that's our statue of Reinforced Deepslate Man. Nice. Now that I've shown you some build ideas, it's time to show you some wall designs and floor patterns you can make with Reinforced Deepslate. For the first wall design, you can combine the Deepslate block with Reinforced Deepslate to create a unique wall pattern that is perfect for medieval or castle builds. For the second wall, we can combine the Reinforced Deepslate block with endstone and endstone bricks, which creates a nice contrast between the two blocks. And again, great use for a castle or end city builds. If you want to create a seamless tall wall design, you can add an endstone at the bottom and a Sculk Catalyst on top to create a seamless finish. Since Sculk Catalyst blends well with the texture of the Reinforced Deepslate, we can use it to make half Sculk wall design that looks great as a wallpaper. Then for the floor patterns, you can place lots of reinforced deepslate to create a dot pattern used for bathrooms or kitchens. For the second pattern, you can add a polished deepslate in an alternating design to create a unique 3D-like floor pattern. This one is really nice and definitely my favorite one so far. And lastly, for the third pattern, you can mix it with an end stone in the middle so you have a seamless edge between the two blocks and it creates a nice unique pattern you can use for any build. I think this is the best floor pattern you can use and I would find myself using this as well in my builds. So that's 14 things you can build with Reinforced Deepslate. Hopefully this video helps you out if you're looking for inspiration or ideas. And thank you so much for watching. Please do consider subscribing for more content. Feel free to check out my socials including my Discord where you can send your fan arts. I'll see you next week. Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.